Hello, Guitar Gear 1. So here's what ended up happening. That pickguard set that I've been looking at on eBay jumped up pretty quick. It's over $35 right now plus shipping. And honestly, I didn't feel like waiting. So I went to a guitar store, actually in Milwaukee, and my dad's good friends with the owners. They gave me my parts at cost, which was really cool of them. And basically, I just went up and grabbed Fender potentiometers. Like I said, we have to convert everything back to passive electronics. So, and the potentiometer basically is what maybe some people call a volume and tone pot, and those sit underneath the knobs here. And you guys will see when we pull this whole thing apart exactly what's going on there. But this is everything from Fender, so this is factory parts. They sold me 3 single coil pickups and 3 knobs. I got a volume and 2 tones in white, and I bought a white pickguard. We're basically going to be making something that's going to look like a Blackie. Eric Clapton Stratocaster, except of course we'll have a rosewood board where Clapton played a maple board. And then we're also going to be replacing the tuners back to the factory originals, which did come with the guitar when we bought it. So basically, oh, and then one thing I wanted to mention to you guys, I didn't know this, but what the guys were telling me at the shop is all Stratocasters are routed hum, single, hum. So when we open this up, there should be cavities to accommodate humbuckers in both the neck and bridge. So what they're saying is it's no problem to go right back and just drop in your single coils. I knew that we could put obviously single coils into this pickguard and put it over, but I didn't want that extra space in the cavity, but I guess that isn't the case at all. So we're going to be turning this back into just a regular old black Stratocaster with a white pickguard, white everything, and whoever is going to end up bidding on this on eBay won't even know that it ever had these EMGs in it and all that. So basically, I'm going to go ahead and tear the guitar down. We're going to take all the strings off. We'll start taking out the pickguard, and we'll come back and start showing you guys how we're going to install things. Just a couple things I had missed on the first go-around and the first time we went to go buy parts. I was able to track down a passive output jack, input jack, whatever, a white switch tip, which I had completely forgotten about, and string trees. So now that we got all our parts to turn this guitar back into a regular Strat, we're going to start pulling stuff out. Like I said, first thing we're going to do is take out this pickguard. And you have these perimeter screws that go around the outside of the guard, and we're just going to go through one by one, take these out. We're going to get this loose, don't just yank them. There's lead wires attached to the input jack here. If you just yank that out, obviously you're going to have problems. So we're going to go ahead, unbolt this, and we're going to come back. Okay, so we just went ahead and took off all the screws. If you lift this out, and again you got a little room to play with, you can see what I'm talking about. Everything is mounted into the pickguard itself, and then the inside of the Strat is routed to accommodate everything we need to get in there. And you can see here, they put in this battery for the active 9-volt electronics. So we're not going to need any of this stuff. So we're literally going to take this switch off, and I think I'm going to reuse this, looks like original Fender potentiometer. I think I'm probably just going to end up selling this pickguard set as it is. I think I'm going to leave it as an HSS setup with the 2 potentiometers, the active stuff. So we're going to go ahead, and first thing we're going to do, I suppose, is take out the input jack, desolder that, get this all apart. We'll go ahead and build our next pickguard, and we'll come back for that stuff. We weren't exactly sure what we bought. To be honest, I basically went to this guitar shop and said, I don't want to spend a lot of money on pickups. They said these came out of, I think, a Square or something like that. So just to get this thing running, we're putting them into the Strat. But 2 of the pickups had these black and white lead lines. One had a yellow. We're hoping that the yellow is supposed to be a bridge pickup. We don't really know. We're going to put them in, see how they sound. But basically what you're doing is, again, installing everything into the pickguard. So on either side of the single coil pickup, you have a screw that has a spring that it helps adjust the actual height the pickup is sitting at. So if you go ahead and take these screws out, very simply, you're just going to be taking these guys, setting them into the pickguard, and in between the screw and the screw's head is going to go the spring. So you're You're going to pop your spring through, set the spring on, and then you're literally just going to wheel it right in to the side of the pickup. Do the same thing on the other side. And then you're going to adjust them to height. And depending on how hot these pickups are, you're going to want to raise or lower them closer or farther away from the strings. And that's about it for actually just getting them mounted. Now, of course, we're going to go ahead and do the same thing for the bridge pickup, like we've already done for the neck. And again, right now our soldering iron's heating up. So you probably want them somewhere about like this, just kind of, you know, maybe a centimeter coming out of the pickguard. And then again, once we actually get this thing fired up, we'll see how it sounds, and then depending on how they are, if they're too hot or whatever, we'll raise or lower them a little bit more to get them closer or farther away from the strings. So we're going to go ahead and get everything else taken apart, and we'll come back and show you what happens next.
Alright, so to get all this stuff out of here that's wired in, basically it's all just wired to the output jack. So I'm actually just going to snip the wires off of the jack since we're putting a new one in anyway. So very carefully with my mini side cutter, just kind of cut those off. And then later I'll take a a socket or whatever and unscrew that and take it out so we can use the jack cover. And then our previous setup is removed. I'm also going to be removing the wires from the switch since we're going to reuse the switch, and then I'll take the screws out so I can put it into the other pickguard. I'll show you that next.
Okay, so here Tom's about to start desoldering the lead wires coming off the pickups to the 5-way selector switch. Again, we wanted to kind of keep this as cost effective as possible, so we're going to be cannibalizing the original setup as much as we can. Yeah.
You can see I'm very carefully using this desoldering braid, and just put the desoldering braid on top of the solder, heat up the solder joint and the braid at the same time. And then when it gets hot enough, you'll see the solder suck up into the solder braid. And you just wait for a second, and then pull them both off simultaneously, and then you should have a clean. It looks like there's a little bit of solder left on there still, but that'll take all of the solder off of the little tab coming out of the switch, and then you can just pull the wire out. And obviously, I'm very good at demonstrating things.
So after Tom's done removing all the connected wires from the 5-way switch, we're going to go ahead and just simply unscrew the switch from the pickguard that it's attached to now, put it into the white one that we're going to be using, and then we're going to be doing this in reverse to wire the new single coils to the 5-way switch, and then from the 5-way back to the potentiometers. So when he's done with that, we're going to come back, show you how we're going to finish this up.